Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me for the live Q&A from Michigan, where we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about Bitcoin. You can throw out questions. I'll try to get them answered the best I can, right on the fly, and we'll move some crypto around. So let's jump right in. All right, guys, welcome. It's been a really interesting week. A lot of cool things have happened. A lot of adoption news in the sector has come out. There's been kind of a rush, some pump and dumps, exciting pump and dumps this week of Bitcoin. I don't know if you really want to call it that. Some people do. But we got a lot to talk about. All of the articles that I'm going to go through in the beginning are linked down in the description. So just go down into the description, and there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that I've added in my description. I've been working a lot on getting that description looking good. So check out, just scroll down and check out what's going on down there. Because below the news stories are links to a bunch of my Ledger videos. If you want to get in depth into some of my videos, if you've never been to my live stream before, I do a lot of how-to videos. So let's get started. Oh my goodness. All right, we made it. All right. So before we get going, it is the season to be buying things for yourself and your loved ones. So I've got some recommendations for you. The first is, of course, Ledger. Go on over and check out Ledger. They've got some pretty good deals going on right now. Let's see, here we are. Discover our product. They had the Black Friday sale. That's over, but they still have the Ledger backup pack. Reduced price for if you buy a Ledger S and an X together. All right. And then don't forget, check out CryptoDad's, the website where you can find out more about what CryptoDad's is, what it's all about. I'm a big believer in them. They're one of my partners, sponsors. I've got this crypto card that I can use to spend my crypto in the real world. We'll talk about it a little more. Of course, check out Brave Browser. If you're not running the Brave Browser and you're concerned about your privacy, you should be running Brave Browser. It blocks ads and trackers. You get a better internet experience altogether. And you can earn BAT tokens right within the browser and actually withdraw them and spend them. It's not much, but it's kind of a cool concept. There's other ways to earn more money with Brave, which I'll touch on later too. And then I guess Ledger's having some holiday sales. I got some links down in the description. Check them out, guys. Check them out. Oh, and before I go too far, it's not all about money. I've got a link to privacytools.io down in the description. Pretty not too far, towards the top. So check out Privacy Tools. Talks about why privacy is important, just how much you're being surveilled or watched or tracked while you're using the internet, and some really good tools to sort of liberate yourself from that. All right, so let me see who's here. Say hello. Where is my thing? Okay, here we go. Wow, XRP agent is here. William, of course, incognito. Good to have you here. Let me pop out my chat window and move it over here so I can greet everyone properly. Let's see what we got here. Calgapo and EKS were both here early. Thank you for that. Mr. David is here from San Antonio. Thank you, Mr. David. You inspired me for something I'm going to try tonight, Mr. David. I'm going to move some ERC tokens from one ledger to another, all within Ledger Live. So that ought to be fun. And Pat, thank you for coming. Good evening. Fire Leather, good to have you. First time here. That's cool. Is that the real Pat from South? Well, we won't talk about where she's from. Pat from Patreon Thursday. Oh, yes. Daniel, William is here. I'll give William a shout out. Scott Lee is here. His icon looks different for some bizarre reason. Maybe because I'm in the dark theme. Hope you know I met you too, but you can't mention YouTube in a super chat. Know that I met you too, but you can't mention YouTube in a super chat. Interesting. Highlighted you on my last VHS tape so beginners of crypto could learn from you. Well, thank you. Thank you, William. I appreciate that. Which is better, SegWit or native SegWit for Coinbase? Kind of a good question. Native SegWit is the newer format, the better format, lower fees, faster transfers, but not everybody supports native SegWit yet. So you kind of, like what I do is I maintain one of each. I've got like a regular SegWit account and like a native SegWit account. I use native SegWit whenever I can because lower fees, faster transfers. No brainer, right? But like I said, not everybody supports it. Sometimes when you go to withdraw from, say, Coinbase or Bittrex or wherever, and you put in that native SegWit Bitcoin address, they don't get it. They'll be like, invalid address or something. So kind of maintain a regular SegWit, a Bitcoin address that starts with a 1 or a 3, so that you'll be able to be compatible with, and it all pretty much goes into the same, all the wallets are on your ledger anyway, depending on what wallets you're using. Yes, there will. She's back in town. Oh, you said VHS tape. So don't say YouTube. Oh, in the super chat. Okay, I got it. Hex. I just can't get behind Hex. I'm sorry, everybody's talking about Hex, but I read their website pretty carefully. I can't find their claim tool anymore. They keep talking about, claim your Hex from your Bitcoin addresses. I don't find that claim tool anywhere. I've looked. If one of you can mail me a link to that claim tool, I would. People do, and then I click it, and it takes me right to the Hex homepage where there's no claim tool, right? And then if you scroll down where they talk about Hex, they say unlimited profit potential, or nearly unlimited. What kind? Okay, it's too good to be true. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. So take it or leave it. But that's my opinion on Hex. Seems like a scam. Stay away. Okay, let's jump into the news, guys. I'm reading stuff. All right, so this was the big story, and it was kind of under the hood. If you weren't paying attention, you might have missed it. A lot of people out there still bashing Bitcoin. They say, it's manipulated by Tether. It's manipulated by whales. It's like, it's not, nobody's buying it. Either they're manipulating it by buying too much of it, or nobody's buying it. They attack it from mutually exclusive attacks. I have an article that I couldn't read, actually, but from the Wall Street Journal saying nobody's buying Bitcoin, blah, 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 Bitcoin sucks. But I was going to point that out, that things are good when the Wall Street Journal does a negative article on Bitcoin, right? Most of the time, the Wall Street Journal doesn't even bother to mention Bitcoin, right? But today, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal about Bitcoin, negative article about Bitcoin. But I couldn't read it all because I'm not a subscriber and I'm not going to pay them money. So anyway. So, on Wednesday, I believe it was, December 4th, Bitcoin shot up from like 7,000 something, just over 75, and then settled back down about 72. But during that time, within that hour, $8.9 billion worth of Bitcoin were moved on chain in a single hour. The all-time record, hour-long record of volume transaction in Bitcoin. Pretty cool, right? So something's going on there, right? Of course, the powers that be, the mainstream people are saying something suspicious is going on. But people like us like to think, hey, there's some pent-up desire to buy Bitcoin there somewhere. And then another story, big story about USDC, which is another stable coin, not Tether, but it is pegged to the US dollar. 19 million US dollar coins, stable coins, minted and moved from Treasury to unknown wallet. So generally, when you buy a bunch of stable coins, you're probably in the market to trade some crypto, right? You know, why would you convert your dollars to stable coins, which aren't going to go up in value? They stay pegged to the dollar unless you were planning on investing some money and doing some good stuff. So that's a pretty cool story. Oh, I forgot. William May, Amazon. We did it with Amazon to find you before. Okay, William E. May. And then he has a lot of books you can buy on Amazon. William is a frequent live stream guest and contributor, and good tipper, I might add. I like to give him a shout out when he's here. I know he also has, oh yeah, he's got that YouTube channel too. So I think we've talked about him. Let's see here. I know it's in there. It is XRP agent. All right. So there's William. Thank you, William, so much. Yeah. So check out William's channel. In fact, I'll probably there's a new thing in YouTube where you can mention people in your description with like a @ and it like does something cool. So that's a new feature. So we'll check out William's stuff if you're into real estate or just into crypto in general. He's a good guy. Here's another big story. French digital euro coming in 2020. So the French digital euro may soon become a reality. Reports have revealed that France is seriously considering launching a digital currency in 2020, developed by the country's central bank. That's pretty big news when you think about it. I mean, 2020 is less than a month away now. So within a year, France is trying to launch a digital euro. Now, whether France has the power to launch a digital, I mean, I don't know. But looks pretty promising when you think about that, right? And another big story here, Deutsche Bank has done a study saying that Bitcoin and crypto could replace fiat currencies by 2030. So a mainstream bank is saying that it is possible that cryptocurrencies, decentralized currencies, could replace fiat currencies by 2030. So whether that's good or bad, we're assuming that's good for Bitcoin, right? It could be other types of crypto which we might not be so crazy about, like Federal Reserve digital dollars or World Bank digital dollars that are tied to baskets of currency, which would really be just virtual copies of the original fiat, centralized fiat. So but the landscape is changing. There's going to be a lot of changes in the way we think about and use money in the near future, the very near future. So, Bitcoin it played a big role in that transition. It was the very first cryptocurrency, and it is the cryptocurrency with the highest market cap at the moment. So, a lot of good stuff going on out there. A lot of good adoption stories in the news this week. The kind of stories that would have really moved the market back in 2017, but we've kind of gotten desensitized to all this because it's sort of accepted now that there will be crypto adoption moving forward. And here's another good crypto adoption story. Morgan Stanley developers launch crypto derivatives exchange. So, these guys were working for one of the biggest mainstream brokerage houses, and they decided to start their own crypto derivatives exchange. So just kind of shows where the smart talent is going these days. Not that crazy about derivatives. I'm more of like a Bitcoin kind of holder guy, but you know, more power to adoption, right? Institutional investors coming in can only mean good things for the price of Bitcoin, right? And as and even though I may not think derivatives are a great idea, you know, people are getting leveraged and all that kind of stuff, but it does bring more recognition, more attention to the cryptocurrency space. People will start to view it more in a positive light. They'll be more curious about it when institutions get in, right? So although I'm not that crazy about institutions doing derivatives, normal Joes on the street will hear about this kind of stuff and think, hey, how can I get some Bitcoin? And will drive adoption and, you know, the price as well. And as the price gets higher, people start to take it more seriously. All right. Once the price passes 20,000, then we aren't going to have any more of these, oh, Bitcoin was a bubble that popped in 2017 people, right? They're going to have to think of a new way to denigrate Bitcoin, because once it passes its all-time high again, they won't be able to bash it like they've been over the last couple of years. All right, I think that was all of the news stories that I had. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I didn't notice that. I thought it was William, that big green banner there. Do you have any videos on using Ledger X and S together on Ledger Live? Well, it's funny you should mention that. I do have a video on using two ledgers, and I believe in the video I use the X and the S, but I'm also planning on doing that tonight. We can jump into that. Because of you, I know how to work Ledger S and X. Thanks. Okay, so Kelly, let me let's see here. How am I going to do this? Actually, I believe it's that particular video might be in the description. Let me just double check. No, it's not. All right, so let's find it real quick. Let's do this. I'll reveal all my personal information. Let's see here. What are we doing here? Okay, we go to videos. All right, and we go Ledger. All right, and let me find this guy here. There it is. Okay. How to use multiple Ledger Nano S. I guess I had two Nano S's on this one. All right. So it's not one in the other. But it's how to do two. So we'll go ahead and drop that down in the description as well. All right. I'll just put that one down in the description so you can check it out at your leisure. Oh, there it goes. All right, and then also, whoops. All right, so I'm going to save that so you can see that in the description. I'm going to paste that in, and since that's the burning question, why don't we jump right in? Why don't we jump into that? Okay, so we got Ledger Live here. And I have a Ledger Nano X. And I've got a Ledger Nano S. All right. So what I was planning on doing was moving some an ERC20 from the S to the X, but I didn't get a chance to move it over. So let's start off with the moving it from the X to the S. All right. So let's see here. Where is it? Yeah. All right. So this is an account that is connected to this Ledger Nano S. All right. And let's say that I don't have it. All right. So let's say, okay, I've got this X and I have Ledger Live, and then, oh, I've now there's an S. Usually it would be the other way around, right? You have an S and you want to move things to your X since it's the newer one. But let's just, for the sake of argument, let's say, okay, I got this S and I'll connect it. Let me make sure it's, I'm going to need to enter my PIN. I thought that I had this auto lock thing turned off because it's so irritating when the thing goes to sleep. So let me just double check. Yeah, I kind of wanted to point out some of the security auto lock. Oh, it was on. Okay. All right. So auto lock off. Oh, why don't I show you guys that? Let me show you guys that while I'm messing around over here. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's do this. That's why I bought this camera, right? Echo, turn off plant light. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is my Ledger Nano S. And it's running the latest firmware. So if you're not running the latest firmware, you should check out my latest video on the Ledger, how to update to 6, right? But I'm really irritated when it goes to sleep on me. I don't like that at all. So I'm just going to use the buttons and navigate, use one button or the other till you get to settings. When you're on settings, you hit both buttons. And we want to navigate down. See, there's the button over the arrow. Navigate down to security. Hit both buttons. Navigate down. Oh, there's auto lock right there. That's that thing I hate, right? Then hit both buttons. It's on auto lock, which means that after 10 minutes of no activity, it will go back to sleep and I'll have to re-enter my PIN. And I hate that. I'm just gonna, when I've got it plugged in and I'm using it, I don't like it to go to sleep. So I turn auto lock off, right? Boom, auto lock off. Now I need to get out of the settings, right? So I'm going to use this arrow, get all the way down to where it says back. I'm going to hit both buttons, right? Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the arrow all the way down to where it says back, right? And then I'm going to hit both buttons. Now I'm back on the home screen. All right. Now I want to create an Ethereum account in my Ledger Live that is associated with this device, right? Let's hit both buttons. We're in the Ethereum app. I should just let you know that all of the other accounts that you can see here are all associated with my Ledger Nano X, right? So we're going to add now the X is not connected, right? You don't want them both connected at the same time when you're adding an account, because then it won't know which one you're trying to scan, right? So we'll hit add account and we'll choose Ethereum and we'll hit continue. It wants me to open the Ethereum app on the device, which I've already done. We'll hit continue and we'll just let it scan for any existing wallets. Well, lo and behold, there just happens to be an existing wallet on this Ledger Nano S because this used to be my go-to device, right? This is where I stored the majority of my cryptocurrency and all my ERC20 tokens. I've since moved them off. So you'll see that there's kind of a bunch of empty wallets on here. But not to worry. We just want to move things back and forth, right? We want to see what happens. Right? So someday this thing will be done. There we go. All right. Oh, Ethereum 1 Legacy is already on there. I guess I took the wrong one off. Okay. All right. Ethereum 1 Legacy. That's the one that we're going to use, right? That's the one that's associated with my Ledger S. So let's call this Ethereum Ledger S, right? Just so we know what that one is. All right, so let's go back out here to accounts. All right, so what I want to do is I want to move some ERC, any of these ERC20 tokens. I want to move some from my Ledger X to my Ledger S, right? So, but the first thing I need is the receiving address. So I need to connect the S first, right? Now, you can connect them both at the same time, and I'll show you how you can manage that as well. So, but let's get the address of this. Now, all ERC20 tokens will go to the exact same Ethereum address of the main Ethereum wallet. So let's do receive. Let's hit continue. I'm already in the Ethereum app. Now it's going to give me the Ethereum address of this device, right? Let's take a look over here. And you'll notice that it wants me to verify that address, right? Right, so I need to hit this little button here, go over, there's the address. Now, because the screen is so small, it has to show it to me in 3 pieces. So I'll just keep advancing until I get to the check. Now I hit both buttons. I've just verified that that address on my screen matches the one on my device. It's a fail-safe. So now we can copy it into our clipboard. All right, now I'm going to leave this guy connected, but I am going to exit the Ethereum app. Why? Because I don't want Ledger Live to get confused when I connect that X. Let's get this here. So I'm going to hit this arrow one more time until I'm over at quit, and then I'll hit both buttons. Right, so the device is still connected, right? The Ledger S is still connected. I'm just going to set it down. Now I'm going to pick up the X, right, the larger one, and I'll connect it. Right, now I've got this guy connected. I'm going to enter my PIN. Ugh. Okay, I did that successfully. All right, so here I am on the Ledger Nano X. Now you'll notice that the Ledger Nano X has a different button setup, right? The buttons are on the front of the device, right? There's one here and there's one over here. You'll also notice that the screen is larger, so it has more room to display apps and addresses, right? So we're going to navigate over to Ethereum, and we're going to hit both buttons. Right? Now we're in the Ethereum app. Let's go back over to our accounts. Now I'm going to drop this guy down, and let's choose an ERC20 token to send to the other ledger, right? So let's choose link, right? I'll go ahead and send it all. I'm going to send all of the link over to where? The address that I copied into my clipboard. That is the address of the Ledger Nano S Ethereum wallet, right? And then I'm going to max it out, just send it all, and then I'm going to hit continue, right? And then I've got the Ledger Nano X attached, and I'm in the Ethereum app. The application is ready. Let's hit continue. Now it's asking me to review the transaction. So where the little arrow is pointing means that's the button I need to press. So I'm going to press the button. I'm going to send 36.873 link. Hit the button again. That's the Ethereum address I'm sending it to. I'm going to hit this button one more time. Those are the gas fees I will incur when I send out this ERC20 token. You need Ethereum in your wallet to pay gas. I have some Ethereum in there, so it's okay. Now, accept and send. I'll hit both buttons. There it goes. All right. Now, we'll just close this. Let me turn off this camera. We'll just close this down. And just watch. It'll go to 0. You can hit synchronize up here. There it goes. Okay, so we sent it. All right, you can see here that I sent it out. Now let's go over to accounts. All right, we can close this. By the way, if you want to change your account interface, they've got the list view over here and the block view over here. I find this a little confusing when you got a lot of ERC20 tokens. I prefer to keep it in list view because you can show and hide the ERC20 tokens. So let's go over here. Now notice the Ethereum balance is the same as it was before. Nothing changed with the Ethereum balance. But there should be some chain link in here. If I can find it. There it is. Right, so there's 36 chain link in this wallet now. So what did we do? We've got 2 ledgers connected to the same computer at the same time using the same version of Ledger Live, and we're able to send back and forth between the 2 of them. But you have to remember there are times where like when I was going to send, I had to exit the Ethereum app on the S and enter the Ethereum app on the X, so Ledger Live would know which device it was using, right? So let's say, just for an example, let me show you what happens when we do this. Let's say I want to try and send, and well, that's the same address. Don't want to do that. Let me go back over here and get the address for the main Ethereum account. That's pretty easy. The device is still connected. Right? All right. So let's try to send from the legacy wallet back to the X. That should be a piece of cake, right? There's the address. Let's send the max. Let's hit continue. Oops. Wrong device or passphrase for Ethereum Ledger Legacy. All right. It's connected. It's connected. But so is the Ledger X, right? So, and the Ledger X is running the Ethereum app, right? So what I need to do is I need to go into my X, hit this button to navigate over to quit. I'll hit quit. And then I need to go into this device, the S, and go to the Ethereum app. Whoop. Ugh, hold it straight, Rex. There we go. Oops. Now, watch what happens. There. Now, notice the interface has changed now with the 6.0 firmware. It's much more similar to the way the X works, right? You got these little side arrows, right? I'm sending it right back. I know this is crazy, but I am, right? But I was just demoing how, and I'm going to pay a little fee, about the same actually. And then I'll hit both buttons to accept and send. All right. So you can have 2 of them connected at the same time. You just kind of have to manage which one's in or out of the app you're using, right? So if you're sending Bitcoin back and forth, just make sure that when you're sending, the one that you're sending from is in the Bitcoin app and the other one isn't. And then like when you're doing a receive, make sure you're using the one that's connected that you want to send to when you get that receiving address. All right, so the chain link should have left my Ledger Nano X any day now. There. Okay. Now we can go back to the main Ethereum account, and lo and behold, the chain link is back where it started, minus a little bit of fees that I, sort of burned when I was, moving this stuff around. No biggie. Small amount of fees. All right. So that was the first question, right? We can do more with Ledger Live, and you'll notice that I'm using the new Dusk theme, which I think is pretty nice. I've always used light in the past, but I really kind of like dusk. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not that crazy about dark, just black. I'm not that crazy about. This is kind of a dark navy blue, kind of an off black. It's nice. All right. Now, before we get too much further, last week I couldn't share my phone. I was so frustrated. Whoops. Oh, okay. Let me get here, and hopefully it'll work. Usually what happens... Oh, no. Come on, baby. Don't do this to me again. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Usually when I'm running my VPN and then I turn it off, the phone sharing thing doesn't work. I had forgotten about that, and I think that's what had happened last week. And so I always have to restart before the phone sharing app will work again. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Crypto.com real quick. I have this Crypto.com card, which is linked to my app, right? So if you go down to the bottom right, there's this card there. I just kind of want to show you guys when I've got some Bitcoin, and I buy a lot of Bitcoin, probably more than I should, right? And I always tell myself, okay, well, buy as much as you can afford right now. And if something comes up, then you can always sell it, right? That's my attitude, right? So, and it works really well with this app, right? I can keep Bitcoin in their app. Now, it's a non-custodial wallet. It's an exchange, right? So they control the private keys. So it's not where I store the bulk of my cryptocurrencies, but I keep some Bitcoin in there, and I get occasional referral bonuses that come right into this. So I can just sell those for Bitcoin, and then I can take the Bitcoin and top up the card and spend it right away. So you'll notice here this morning, whoops, I deposited 161 US dollars. That was actually, I sold $161 worth of Bitcoin. Then I went to the store and bought stuff, right? I went to 2 different stores and bought stuff. Pretty cool, right? And then also this card, you'll notice that I do that a lot, right? I sell a little Bitcoin, buy some stuff. And then I also use this card to pay for Spotify and Netflix. So you'll see there are some black. Yeah, there it is. Payment to other third party. That's Netflix. I'm sorry, the $15.99, right? And then Spotify is like 10 something. It's in there somewhere. I'm revealing a lot of personal information. All right, but check out MCO. That's their native cryptocurrency. That's where they pay you your bonuses, right? So if you look here, I get the MCO Rewards bonus is when I get a referral bonus. But if you go down a little further, you'll see there's a card rebate from Spotify. They gave me 100% back on my Spotify because I'm using the Crypto.com card to pay. I can't seem to hold this thing right, can I? You could also, now, let's just say that you want to, let's say you decide to take a vacation. And you say, well, I'm holding some Bitcoin on my Ledger Nano S, so I can transfer it into my Crypto.com account, I can liquidate it and top up the card with the Bitcoin and then use the card to make my reservations. I could also go to the ATM and get cash right away. So within 1 minute, I could sell Bitcoin, top up the card, and get cash in my hand. I think that's the fastest way that I know of to liquidate my Bitcoin into cold hard cash. You can't do that on Coinbase. It takes, like they say, it takes 3 to 5 business days. You usually get it when you cash out. You usually get it within 24 hours, depending. But they reserve the right to take longer if they want, right? They tell you when you do it, may take 3 to 5 days. And if you do it on a weekend, you might not get it till Monday or Tuesday, right? Crypto.com, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 24/7. You can cash out, go to an ATM, boom, right away. That's what I like about it. Anyway, sorry about that. I just wanted to say that earlier and didn't get a chance. Let me see what you guys are talking about. You guys probably breaking up into small groups. Okay, so I answered Kelly's question, hopefully. Hopefully Kelly got out of that. A lot out of that. Betty? Fish tacos. You're always in the kitchen, Scott. Making pies or fish tacos? Man, I can almost smell them. Okay. Betty. Oh, yeah, fish tacos. Tuna's expensive. Okay. Perfect timing for me. I literally just got my first Nano X with your link. Haven't even taken it out of the box. Now, now I moved some crypto from one ledger to another, right? But there is an easier way. If you have a ledger S and you've been using it and you have crypto on there and you've just bought yourself an X and you want to just move it all over there without any transfer fees, there's an easy way to do that. So what you want to do, instead of setting it up as a new device, you want to restore. So that's the video right there. How to restore to a Ledger Nano X from the 24-word recovery phrase of your previous ledger. And what that will do, instead of when you open up that X and you go to set it up, it'll ask you, set up as new device, and you go to the next screen. And the next screen says recover device. And that's what you do. So there's a step-by-step tutorial in this video. Oops. And that's the cleanest way because you don't get any transfer fees and it's all done in one fell swoop. And then what happens after you've done that is the ledger, the old ledger S and the new ledger X are mirror images of each other. They're both pointing all to the same wallets. You move something into one of them, it goes in. It would be really weird if you tried to move from one to the other if they were mirror images. It would just end up in the same place. I don't know that it would work because you'd be sending to the same address. It might say, hey, you're trying to send to yourself. But and then you could get another one if you want to spread your assets out or whatever. Or you could take the ledger S and just put it in the closet and know that if the ledger X gets lost, broken, stepped on, devoured by ravenous wolves or whatever happens, you've got that the backup S in the closet. You can go right out and be back up and running in a second.
Want real followers?
Oh, you have to. You can't pause.
Become a pro streamer. Want to become a pro?
All right, so that's the video there. I do that. I walk you through it. Oh, there it is, right there. Right, when you first turn it on.
Okay, these are the welcome instructions.
Right,
right.
You
Now
set up as new device.
Do not want to set this up as a new device. We're going to go restore from recovery phrase. Now at this point you want to have the 24-word recovery phrase of your old ledger handy.
All right, so that's the deal, right? So that's the easiest way, Betty, if you're going to set up that X, if you just want to move everything into it. This is also new to me. Yeah, I know, it's a little crazy. Now, I demo mostly the Ledger Nano because I believe it's a good, solid hardware wallet that's easy to use. Now, there are other easier ways to buy Bitcoin, right? You could just go to Coinbase and buy Bitcoin and hold it on Coinbase, right? You don't need to get all into the putting it in your wallet thing if you don't want to, right? It is recommended, though, and it's good exercise for your brain, right? Learning how it gets moved around. But you don't have to jump in head first, right? You can just stick your toe in the water, go to Coinbase and buy a little Bitcoin, right? Just hold on to it. Okay, I want to make a duplicate copy and keep both X and S up to date. So that's exactly what you would do, Betty. Just do the restore from your Ledger S original recovery phrase, and then they will be mirror images of each other. They'll be copies. And if you buy more Bitcoin and put it on the Ledger Nano X, it will automatically be in the wallet of the S. In fact, you don't even need to change your Ledger Live, because Ledger Live, when you connect, after you do the recovery and you connect your S to Ledger Live and try to move Bitcoin in or out, it will recognize the wallet on that. They're actually keys, right? It will recognize the private key on that X because it will be the exact same wallet or key that was generated when it had the S. I know it's weird. I know it's weird. It's math. So it's an exact mathematical copy of the other device, as far as Ledger knows, right? Ledger wants to see, it looks for the private key inside the device. And if it's the right one, it's the same one that created the account, then it will recognize it as the right key and you will be able to use it interchangeably, right? You could connect the S or the X and use it with the same accounts. Pretty mind-blowing, right? Money, Satoshi Money, if you have it on your ledger, it should still be there. Yeah. Oh, you just bought a little tiny bit. That's nice. Let's look at the price of Bitcoin. I think we skipped that part. We talked a little bit about what it did a few days ago, but let's look at where we're at right now. If I can find it. There it is. I change my resolution when I do these so that you guys can see my screen, but it makes my browser look different. It's like I'm in the land of the giants, right? All right, so Bitcoin is over 75 right now. Right, and over the last few days, there was that jump right there. That was the day, December 4th, when it shot up from, where did we start? 72, 77, 72.58, up to 75.34. Now, it would be really easy to miss this because it's not uncommon for Bitcoin to shoot up several $100s in a short amount of time. That's happened many, many times. In fact, there are times where it shoots up like over $1,000 or $1,500, but not that quick, I guess, right? Or maybe that quick, but not with that much volume before. So this was kind of a record-setting event here. Pretty cool, right? Very nice. Oh, I also wanted to point out, I did this video the other day, but I just wanted to point out that if you can sign up for Brave Rewards, even if you don't have a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel, right? And I just wanted to point this out to you guys. So it came in. So if you set yourself up a Brave Rewards account, and it's very simple, you just go to the Brave Rewards page, and it will, you put in your email and you set up yourself an account. They will pay you every month the BAT that you earn. Now, but the interest, before, you had to have a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel or your own website. Well, now you can add your own website, your own YouTube channel, your own Twitch channel, but also Twitter, Vimeo, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Reddit, or GitHub. Now, there are a lot of people out there that are big on Twitter, right, that may not know that much about cryptocurrency or Brave browser, right? You don't even need to run the Brave browser to actually set up a Brave Rewards account and claim your Brave BAT token rewards, because all you have to do is sign up, connect your Twitter to it, and then other people that are reading your tweets in their Brave browser can tip you in Brave, and it will go into your Uphold wallet, right? So all you need is to sign up for this, get yourself an Uphold wallet and get it all connected, and then the BAT will come in every month. So I'm sure there are a lot of like Twitter influencers out there. They don't have Instagram yet, right? But Twitter is big. I mean, there's a lot of like really heavy duty Twitter people with like thousands of followers that could really start to earn some BAT if they signed up for this, right? And why not? It's passive income. I mean, especially if you're already like a big Twitter guy or gal, right? And, Reddit, if you post on Reddit a lot, if you answer people's questions, they might tip you in BAT. Or GitHub, if you're uploading code, stuff that people like. I mean, these are ways to earn BAT and passive income. And it's probably stuff you're doing already anyway. Just like my YouTube channel. I was putting up YouTube's videos and earning ad income from Google, but then I connected my Brave Rewards account, and I also get BAT tokens from Brave. Now, I don't know, you can cash out every month if you want to, like $100 a month. I don't. I just hold the BAT because I believe in BAT. I may be crazy, but I do. That's the way to do it, right? Just stack that BAT up. See, and of course I don't have anything in these because I'm not that big on these platforms. Yeah. But I do, I get a lot of BAT rewards from my YouTube channel. And they can tip me on my YouTube channel in BAT, or I can get BAT because they're auto-contributing to my page, right? Anyway. Come on, guys. Oh, yeah, I was going to ask... I haven't seen my Tron in over 2 years. Someone asked me last week about the Tron scan wallet and why is it not working or something of that nature. All right? So let's check it out. All right, I still have both of these connected, right? And they're just like sitting there. And they're not going to sleep because I turned off auto lock. So let's check my Tron balance on Tron scan. So let's go Tron. All right. And we go to Tron scan on the Explorer here. And we're going to log in using our ledger. Now, in this case, I find it better to be in the Tron app before you do this, right? All right, so we're going to navigate. Let's navigate button over to Tron. Where'd it go? Did I pass it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Tron. We'll hit both buttons. right? And now it says application is ready. Now this is a good one here because it requires you to do something kind of different, right? I'm gonna go up. You can't see it. Let me move this. Sorry, guys. All right, so we're gonna go up here. See, to sign in, I can use Tron link. I can import a private key, or I can use Ledger. I'm gonna use Ledger. Right? It says open the Tron app, which I've already done, and now it says verify address. So I'm going to use, see that little arrow tells me to go to the next screen. There's the Tron address, and then there's the approve. I'll hit approve, and boom. Now it's verified my ledger and the address, and wants me, and now I can just go ahead and sign in, right? And there's my Tron balance, right? And I can move it around if I want to. If I want to. I'm not that crazy about Tron anyway. But why not? Why? Let's move some Tron. All right. Let me share my phone with you. I do have a Tron wallet over here. This is Get Wallet now. How'd that happen? That's kind of weird. All right, there's my Tron phone-based wallet. So let's see. Why don't we... let's move some out of the ledger-based wallet, just for the heck of it, right? Because you'll see how the outgoing part works on the ledger. So I'm going to tap Receive on this wallet, right? And there's the address. But I need it on my computer, so I'm going to do a share. And I'll just email myself the address. All right, so I can... All right, so now we can kind of keep an eye on that phone-based wallet. All right, there's the address came in. Okay. All right. Okay, there's Tron. That's the Tron address of the of this wallet, right? The phone-based wallet. Right? So let's go back to the Tron scan, right? And now under wallet here, I'm going to hit wallet. I want to send, right? So I'm going to hit send. I'm going to send it to that address. I've got 8,271 Tron available. Let's send 200. Okay. And now I want you to watch what happens on my device when I do this send. Right? It's ready. So let's hit send. Then it wants me to confirm that. And then it asks me to review the transfer. So we got to go, the amount is 200, the token is Tron, the address, to and from, accept and send, hit both buttons, right? And you kind of have to do that quick, because if you, one time I talked too long and it screwed up. Oh, and you missed it. Ah, there. You have received 200 Tron. See, it just came in on my phone. Whoops. Where is it? It just told me I received 200. I don't know where the history is. That's just Tron itself. Transactions. There it is, confirmed. So I transferred 200 Tron from my ledger-based Tron wallet over to my phone-based Tron. Now, why would I do that? Just as an example. It might make more sense to keep it in the ledger-based wallet because it's more secure. But the phone-based Tron wallet is convenient, right? So you might want to, you know, have, there might come a day where it might be, you know, nice to have a wallet with Tron in it if you can use it to pay for a cup of coffee or whatever, right? So there you go. We moved a little Tron today. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, and yes, I do have my 24. Oh, Satoshi. Okay, here we go. Agree, it should. I haven't seen my Tron in over 2 years. Yes, I'm hoping updating my Ledger Live, but stuck on boot loading. What do I do? Satoshi Money, if you're stuck on boot loading, you might want to try. And I've never done it before, but supposedly, and I told somebody this, and they were like, "How Rex figured it out, and nobody else could." And I was like, "I didn't really figure it out. Someone told me about it." So if we go down to our Windows Start menu, and we go down to Ledger Live, all right. All right, now instead of clicking on it with the left mouse button, we want to right click and choose More and choose Run as Administrator. All right, that will launch Ledger Live as administrator. I hope. I think. Okay, there it is. All right. All right, and then we log in. All right, and then we go up here to the settings, and we go to Help, and then we go down here to Reset Ledger Live. I think someone just said, "Hey, I'm stuck on bootloader," and I said, "Try running Ledger Live in administrator mode," and he was like, "Hey, it worked." So I don't know if just connecting it to Ledger Live in admin mode will sort of get the process going again, or whatever it is that. But that's been a solution that some people have mentioned. And if maybe you've never, repair your Ledger device. Pardon me. I believe that's what you want to do if you're stuck in bootloader mode, right? Or you might have it connected, and as soon as you launch Ledger Live in admin mode, it gets unstuck. I don't know, but try that. See if that's and then and if you have your recovery phrase, and you have to get a new one, that's a bummer and everything, but at least you could get access to your crypto. If you've got $20,000 worth of crypto stored on there, you might want to spend $79 for a new ledger so you can get access to it, right? And then the broken one, you could continue negotiating with Ledger tech support and get that replaced, and then you would have two. I'm just brainstorming, right? There are also other ways. You can take, let's see here. I think it's, if I can get, okay. This one here, this Tron link. Is it Tron link? Or this one? Don't think it's that one. Let me get in here. I believe in Tron Link. No. Come on, baby. They keep changing this thing. I thought there was a way to switch wallets. There we go. Okay. Restore. I think you can put in the 24-word recovery phrase from your ledger, and it will show you your Tron balance. The only problem with that is it's a little bit risky to be exposing your 24-word recovery phrase just to get access to your Tron, because it also is, if you have more than Tron on there, you're exposing those other wallets to, you know, snoopers. Okay, thank you. Also, there's another thing you can do. There's a thing called the BIP39 tool. All right. Now, you don't want to do this online because, you know, it's your 24-word recovery phrase. You don't want to enter that in while you're connected to the internet. But you can download this whole thing offline usage. You can go to GitHub and download this tool, right? Disconnect your computer from the internet and run the tool, right? And you can enter your 24-word, whatever it is, you know, your 24-word recovery phrase, and then say, generate the key for, I don't know if Tron is on here, TRX? I guess it's not. No, you couldn't do that with Tron, but you could do it for certain other coins like Aetherium. So that 24-word recovery phrase can, when you use this tool, it will actually spit out, like, let's, you know, for example, Aetherium. Well, let's, Bitcoin, right? It would spit out a private key for your Bitcoin that you have stored on that ledger. Now, I'm not really sure how it would handle multiple Bitcoin wallets if you had more than one on there. But, I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? There's more than, like I said, these Tron extensions, I don't know if it's Tron Link or Tron Wallet, but I thought that at one point I pulled in my 24-word recovery phrase from my ledger, and it saw the Tron balance. It was kind of weird. Maybe it was a dream. But it doesn't hurt to try. But like I said, you're kind of playing with fire when you throw in that whole ledger 24-word recovery phrase on a web page, right? You want to keep that thing safe. The safest thing you can do is just get another ledger or get the one you've got fixed. Hopefully you can get past that bootloader thing. Yeah. All right, let me see what's going on with everybody. So I hope that helps, Satoshi Money. Chadwick likes Elipal. I did a video on Elipal. It's air-gapped cold storage. You know, you need the phone app and the device, and you scan between the two of them to send and receive transactions, and the private key never leaves the Elipal. So it's pretty cool. I like it, but I find it a little inconvenient to use because you've got to hold two different devices and scan them, but it is like super secure. A lot of people like Elipal. So, you know, you could check that out. I've done some videos on Elipal. Set those up. Brave Android bat to Uphold. Everybody's asking me about that. I did a video on how you set up the Brave wallet on your... let me see here. Oh, no, it's not. Hang on. We're talking about Brave Rewards on the... iOS base. Well, you're talking about Android, but we want to know if what happens to our Brave Rewards. Whoops, I need to look at this. What happens to our... Everybody okay back there?
No.
What happened?
No, I can't do it. What? I spilled it. No, you not. Yes.
That's all right, buddy. Oh, okay, here we go, guys. All right, so let's see what happens when I claim these rewards. And let's go over to my Uphold wallet and see what happens. So the question is, people were telling me, okay, I don't, when I sync up my Brave browser to my phone, I get my bookmarks, but I don't get my BAT, right? It's different balance than my main browser. So let's see what happens when I claim it. Your Brave Reward ads are here, December 6th. Let's claim them. Boom, 1.5 BAT. I'm rich, I'm rich. Your reward grant from Brave Ads is on its way. It looks like it just came into my wallet, right? So let's see. All right, so I got some rewards that were not granted to me, right? I still don't see a way to withdraw them. Earning, okay, it tells me I've earned 1.5 BAT, but it doesn't give me the option to withdraw it. Like, if you look at the browser, you can withdraw it, right? You can go over to your rewards, right? And you can withdraw your funds. Now, I've got mine connected to my Uphold wallet, so whenever they just automatically grant them every month, and they automatically go into Uphold. So you can see here that there's about $2 worth of BAT in my Brave browser Uphold wallet. That goes automatically into Uphold. I already took some out, right? Because I get Brave from other sources, right? So I just sort of put it all together and moved all that BAT into my Ledger wallet. I don't like to keep my BAT in the Uphold wallet. The Uphold wallet is non-custodial. They control the private keys. But they do sort of give you, I don't use this wallet much except for collecting my Brave rewards. But it's a nice wallet. I mean, you can use it to buy and sell crypto, like crypto.com. So anyway, there's no card for, and they don't show them all, right? There's no card for my phone-based Brave, right? I don't see it, right? So the only card, I get my YouTube rewards those are tips. So they got the Brave rewards that they pay me every month that you guys saw that I talked about earlier. I've got the YouTube rewards, which are when people tip me in BAT on my YouTube channel when they're using Brave browser. And then I've got the Brave browser rewards that I get for viewing ads using the Brave browser that go directly in. But we still haven't quite figured out the mystery of how the phone-based version, if you can or if you can withdraw the BAT from that or not, right? It doesn't appear that way because I just got some. At first I thought, well, they gave me 20 as a grant, right? So they're not going to let me take that out because that's like to use to tip others. But now I've got this additional 1.5, but there's no withdrawal. There's no way to connect this wallet to my Uphold account that I've seen, right? The controls just aren't there. So I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I just don't have enough yet. But we'll see. I can tip others if I want. Yeah, I would really love to see how that works, if it ever does. But nothing's happening here. I can tap all day. Still, I love reading on my phone when I'm in the Brave browser. I read a lot on my computer, news stories, and I use websites where there's a lot of ads, but Brave blocks them, right? There's a few that get through, but most of them get blocked. But when I'm like not near my computer, I'm somewhere else and I'm reading those websites on my phone, then there's like ads all in the way. But ever since I got Brave installed and I'm using those bookmarks in Brave, I don't get all those ads in my way anymore. So it's great. So you can earn BAT by looking at the ads when they come up in the Brave browser on your phone. But you know, the main thing is it blocks ads and trackers. So someday we'll figure out how to get the BAT moved out. I'm not too worried about it right now. Friends from NASA. Well, I guess I could show your email, Chadwick, if someone wants to email you. Scott. I don't know. How long were you gone, Scott? We talked about Tron a little bit. You know, we moved some Tron around. We talked a little bit about Brave and the phone-based rewards. We can't seem to get them out of our phone. Okay, recrystallize. Which video do you show how to install the Ledger Nano S offline on a separate hard drive that is never connected to the internet? Well, you can set up the Ledger device without connecting it to your computer. You know, when you first set it up and you initialize it, it will generate the private key randomly, and then it will give you your 24-word recovery phrase. And you can write it down on the card that actually, no, you can't. Well, yes, you could. Okay? No, you can't. Maybe not. See, there's this, you might be able to just connect it to a US, because it needs power, the S. The S needs power. So you might be able to connect it to a USB charger just to get power so you can set it up. But I think that it needs to connect to the internet to do the authentication check, right? So basically there's the ledger needs to connect to the internet to verify its authenticity with the ledger servers in France. So using a ledger without connecting it to the internet is impossible, because there's like a genuine check that needs to go through. And even if you could set it up without doing the genuine check by just generating the 24-word recovery phrase, you need to connect to the internet to send and receive cryptocurrency. So you're going to have to connect it to something at some point. I mean, if you're looking for a cold wallet or an air-gapped wallet, the Ledger is really not that. The Ledger is a hardware wallet, and the security are the buttons, but it does connect to the internet. So if you're looking for an air-gapped solution, you might want to try Uphold. It is physically not connected to the internet. So, but the answer to the question, I don't have any videos where I show you how to set up a Ledger Nano S without connecting it to. Now you could connect it to that computer, that's that air-gapped computer, and you might be able to set up your 24-word recovery phrase. But you won't be able to store any Bitcoin in there, really. You might. I don't think so. I think Ledger Live makes you go through the genuine check before you can even use it. And that requires a connection to the internet. Otherwise, it could be a compromised ledger, a second-hand ledger, that sends money to the attacker's wallet. Right? I think I did answer your question, R.E. Crystallese. Let's see. Okay. Do I think that XRP will fall to the 15 cent support range? It's I don't talk about coins per se. I do talk about Bitcoin and its price action, and I'm a firm hodler of Bitcoin, XRP, kind of a love-hate relationship with XRP. Uh, as you can see here, I have some XRP, 1883, and when I first got it, I think a few months ago, it was around $500 worth, and now it's 427. But where it's going in price, I'm really not an expert on that. I will say that I bought some in 2017, and it went up, and I read a little more about it, and then decided that that I didn't believe in it. I read that it was centralized, and that it wasn't a real cryptocurrency. It wasn't decentralized. It was controlled by the main Ripple company, and they held most of it, and that kind of stuff. And I was like, this isn't a real cryptocurrency. I heard about it. People were saying it was going to go to the moon, and I bought some, and I was in the green, and so I got out of it. And I'm glad I did, because I turned a little bit of a profit in 2017. Now, I heard a story about a guy who was saying he bought it in 2017 and he sold all his stuff to buy as much as he could, and now he's mad at Brad Garlington because it's still going down, and they burned a bunch of it. They did something, I don't know, that devalued it not too long ago. So he was really mad, and he says, my wife hates me. And then somebody in the Twitter feed replied, oh, so I guess you would call that a wife-changing investment. That was kind of funny. He probably didn't think that was funny. Anyway, so I don't know. XRP could go down, could go up. You hear there's people on both sides of the fence on that one. Now that I've moved my Matic, Funfair, and Holochain coins off Binance and put them in a wallet, where can I safely go to trade them? Thanks, Rex. Well, that's, generally when a cryptocurrency exchange delists a coin, it's because it's thinly traded, right? It's not doing that great. So once it gets off Binance, then you might be hard-pressed to find where you would find it. But a good place to start is coinmarketcap.com, right? So let's look at that, Matic, right? So you can go to coinmarketcap.com and look up each of these coins, right? And when you look at the price of the coin, they can show you the website. And if you go down a little further here, they usually have a thing called markets right here. Let's take a look at that. Okay. All right. So it still lists Binance, but these are supposedly some other cryptocurrency exchanges that have those coins, that still have Matic trading pairs. So you might want to take a look at some of these other exchanges, check them out, decide whether you think it's worth it. Right? And then a lot of them are, Asian, so they might be they may not be user-friendly to English-speaking people. Let's just put it that way. They may be a little thinly traded even on their exchange. So, but you might be able to figure out somewhere where you could trade it if it does rise, right? So, where else? What else were we looking at? Funfair. There's one. Funfair. Let's go to market pairs there. Adjusted volume. All right, so you can see there are some other exchanges that have fun pairs where you might be able to trade it. You know, do your research, find what you think is the next best exchange. You know, now that you can't trade it on Binance anymore, and check it out. That would be my advice, you know, because, or if it goes big at some point, then Binance might relist it, or Bittrex or Coinbase or Binance US might list it if it, you know, if it goes to the moon. Who knows, right? You've got it in your wallet. It's not going anywhere. So I'm glad you managed to figure that part of it out. I hope that answered your question, Pat. Bitcoin is not fully private coin. Is there any cryptocurrency private coin with a max cap? Monero is a privacy-based coin. Whoops. It does not have a max cap, but it does have like a graduated cap. In other words, it gets to a point. They're making more Monero, and then they're gonna like slowly taper off. But there will be a continuing mining of Monero. But so it's got unlimited, but it is going to slow down to the point where there will be some added as it goes along, a small amount, right? So that is a privacy-based coin that hides the sender and receiver. It has built-in encryption on their transactions. Bitcoin is not encrypted. Bitcoin uses cryptography to digitally sign transactions, and it's used in mining and block, you know, the blockchain and everything else, but it's cryptography. It's not encryption. Encryption is where it scrambles it, right? Where it gets unreadable. The Bitcoin transaction blockchain is transparent. Anyone can read it, right? So Monero is a privacy coin. Dash is sort of privacy coin. It I don't know if it has a cap. There's Zcash is a privacy-based coin. I'm not sure if it has a cap or not. Sorry, I don't off the top of my head. But those are some coins you might want to look into if you're concerned about privacy. All right. XRP is a stable coin to dethrone the SWIFT system. If anyone was looking for gains, XLM will do better or not. So Scott is pointing out that XLM, whoops, let's start with XRP. XRP, or Ripple, is a stable coin that is trying to, and is working with the banks, right? It's trying to sort of, it's not fighting against the banks, it's trying to work with the banks. And it's got its own niche, right? But it's not that decentralized. But Scott just pointed out that there is also a coin called Stellar, which is a little more people friendly, right? It's geared towards common people, as opposed to Ripple is geared more towards banks, right? Ripple is trying to win the business of the banks, so that, and their argument is, I can move money faster than the SWIFT system can, right? Stellar is more focused towards the unbanked and the normal people, right? A little more of a people's coin than XRP. So good point, Scott. Okay, so Angel is saying she doesn't think Bitcoin can survive in the long run because it's not private like Monero. She may have a point. There will be some drawbacks to Bitcoin because it's not private. And there are a lot of advantages to Bitcoin because it's not private, right? It's a transparent, decentralized system where people can exchange value, and that's why people trust it, right? Because the blockchain is transparent. But that's also a weakness in a way, because not everybody wants their financial transactions to be transparent. And there is the issue of tainted coins. So if a money launderer in Lithuania launders like a bunch of ill-gotten gains using Bitcoin, and then transfers that Bitcoin somewhere, and then somehow it ends up in my wallet, right? I buy some Bitcoin from an exchange, or I go on local Bitcoins, or decentralized, whatever. I end up with some Bitcoin that was at one point laundered by a Lithuanian mobster. Then the Securities and Exchange Commission or the Secret Service could say, at that point, who knows, they might say, Rex, you've got some tainted Bitcoin there. Either you're a criminal, or you shouldn't have this. So it's like ending up with a counterfeit dollar. You have to surrender it to the Secret Service. So there you go. You might have tainted Bitcoin, and that impacts the fungibility of Bitcoin. That means not every Bitcoin is equal to every other Bitcoin, right? Because Scott bought some Bitcoin that was fresh, squeaky clean from Coinbase, and he can spend that anywhere he wants because it's squeaky clean Bitcoin. Rex ended up buying his Bitcoin from a decentralized exchange, and he ended up with Lithuanian laundered Bitcoin. So Rex's Bitcoin is not the same as Scott's Bitcoin. It's different. So that's not fungible, right? Monero would be fungible because it has no past, right? No one knows where your Monero came from. So it's more fungible in that respect. Good point, Angel. Yeah, but the max supply of Monero is just... They explain why they do that. It's like a slow taper. They say going to zero is not great, because then there won't be any reason to mine anymore. There won't be any miner rewards. It's a long argument, but there's no like hard cap. It's like it tapers off. Whatever. What exchange can I find XLM on? I'm using Bitstamp at the moment. XLM is available on Coinbase. I think you can, yeah, so Coinbase has it. Binance US has XLM, I'm pretty sure. Let's log into that. And we might be able to move some... Oh, let's just go over here to our authenticator. Whoops. That was weird. Yeah. So you can get XLM on Binance US. You can get XLM on Bittrex. You can get XLM on Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. You can get it a lot of... It's a mainstream cryptocurrency, right? XLM. I mean, we're talking... what's its market cap? Number 10 right now, market cap. It used to be a little higher. But it's a big boy coin. It's like, yeah, it's no slouch. Binance US is a pretty good place to get signed up, right? It follows all the US regulations. If you're just starting out, I would recommend Coinbase. Coinbase is that's the granddaddy of American. It's American as apple pie. They don't have that many cryptocurrencies, like 10 or 15 or whatever, but it's a very trustworthy, good place and easy place to start. You can use a bank account or a debit card to buy cryptocurrency. So that'd be the way to go. And you can buy Stellar there if you want. Well, Betty, I think even Coinbase makes you verify your ID now. They didn't used to. So a lot of us that have been around for a while, like in 2017, may have set up their first Coinbase account back before they even required any ID. All you needed was an email address, basically. And then you could deposit Bitcoin in there. But I think most of the U.S. exchanges now require some form of ID to get started. I think even Coinbase now, too. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off for tonight. Thanks for joining me. Hope I didn't miss any questions. I'll go through the feed later. And I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, because I did. I always enjoy meeting with you guys. Oh, I wanted to thank everybody for buying Ledger during the Black Friday week. And using my affiliate link. I made a lot of affiliate sales. Ledger was pretty happy with me. There's next week. There's a big secret thing going on with Ledger I'm not allowed to talk about. I'm sworn to secrecy. But there's something they're doing, and I'll be involved with it. I'll probably do a video on it. Next week, we'll be able to talk about it freely. Right? They'll be unredacted at that point. So please join me next week, guys, and check out any videos that I may have posted last week. There may be some stuff you like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, we'll be here next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, answering questions, talking about Bitcoin, talking about the news, moving crypto. Hope to see you again. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon.